to my channel, Foxey Sunrise. Today we have a pick a card reading in honor of Virgo season, and it's going to be all about your higher self's ideal routine. The ideal routine for your higher self. So, I have 3 groups today. Pick as many groups as you're drawn to. All the timestamps will be down below in the description box. Let me adjust this. This is group 1, integrity. Group 2 is vacation. And we have group 3, listen. Alright, I'll see you at your group. Hello, group 1. If you chose integrity, this is your reading on your higher self's routine, daily routine. Okay, we have integrity, trusting heaven, Archangel Michael, Leo, and movement in reverse. Oop, there we go. Archangel Michael card says you are safe, angels stand close, surrender your concerns, and allow a miracle to occur. Okay, so I'm seeing that there's a need to dive into your authenticity in your routine. It's important for you day to day to really tap into your spirit, tap into your creativity, tap into bold action and bravery, tap into your inner light. Group 1. Group 1. What do you need to know about group 1? Daily routine for group 1. So it's really important for you to step into your masculine energy more often throughout your day. So being more assertive, taking bold action, stepping up into positions of leadership. So I'm getting that the routine your higher self is encouraging you to move towards, or even just the actions, your daily actions, is to take certain steps to practice being your own authority, and also stepping into positions of leadership more often, because I feel that this group is used to waiting around for action or following the lead of someone else, and there's a need to step into your own authority here and to set an example for yourself and others around you. Like I'm almost getting the sense of somebody who's following the lead of people who seem like leaders, but they're followers. And you're really meant to be the leader in your life, and also to lead and set example for other people. This trusting in heaven in reverse seems to be an emphasis on the disconnection of your internal compass and guidance. There's a need to play more. There's a need to, again, connect to your creative energy, possibly even your sexual energy, and to practice being more dominant in your life and taking the reins in your life. This feels like a group that, again, like you sit back and wait for somebody else to take control. There's codependency here that keeps popping up. And the interesting thing with the integrity card being your theme card for your reading is there's a lack of honesty in your desires and what you want to do, and even a lack of honesty in the way that you're showing up, a lack of authenticity, because of the fact that you're not expressing yourself as boldly and as audaciously as you could. And it's also causing this feeling of stagnancy in your life, because the only person who knows what you want and how to get there is you. And trusting in yourself, and if you are spiritual, trusting in the energies around you to also guide you to the people who can assist you in getting the answers that you seek to get to wherever you're trying to go, or to produce whatever you're trying to produce, or to develop and excel in the ways that you want to develop and excel. But there's a need to be more authentic, show up more authentically and honestly in your life, in different aspects of your life. So I'm getting this silly example of someone who is asked by somebody. Say your partner asks you what you want to eat, and you say, "Oh, it's fine, I don't care," but you have a place in mind, but you don't say it. So it's even in the little things like that where you should make a choice versus sitting on the fence. So in every moment when you're asked something, in every moment when you're able to speak up, speak with definiteness, speak with boldness, speak with sharpness, speak with certainty, and express yourself in a certain way. Express yourself within certainty. There's a need to end a cycle of relying on other people, or even on maybe like signs in your environment, relying on external things to motivate you to take a step forward, to take a leap, to take an action. You are the sign that you need. The sign comes from within you, and from your own desire, attraction, knowing, passion to do something, to try something out. That's the sign that you need. That's the only sign you need. Alright, what else can we know about group 1 aligning? Yeah, again, the indecision, and I feel like it doesn't come from you not knowing what you want. It comes from like a fear of ruffling feathers or hurting someone's feelings, or stepping on other people's toes and telling you what you really want. I feel as though this group has an inner voice that's really fierce, and you have this belief that people aren't ready to hear what you have to say. We had 3 of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So it may be a friend group that's stifling you. The people closest around you that make you feel like you can't express how you feel. And maybe in a subconscious sense, like, you can tell that these people won't be able to handle, like, your true self almost. Like, you can't be who you really are around these people because you feel like they can't handle it for some reason. And that's your sign to exit wherever you are. What else can group 1 know? One more card for group 1. Higher self. Alright, and here it is again. Yeah, there's a lack of investing in the self, whether that's time, money. Maybe you feel like the things you're interested in, your friend group isn't interested in, and so you feel like they judge you, or they make certain like backhanded remarks for your ideas or the ways that you want to live your life, or maybe spend your money. So the way that you invest in yourself. And the environment has a really strong effect on how confident we are with showing up authentically. So if we're in an environment where there's not a lot of people doing the things that we want to do, or there's not a lot of people who are interested in the things that we're interested in, then it really feels very isolating and lonely, and the environment that you are in is showing you that what you want to do, what you're interested in, is unrealistic. So it's really important for you to find a community that makes you feel uplifted and positive and light and powerful and optimistic about investing in yourself, about showing up more empowered, about speaking your mind and your truth, so that you can grow those roots of being a leader in your life and possibly in other people's lives, and feeling comfortable with expressing yourself. You should feel that way anyways, but if you're coming from a place where you're very accustomed to biting your tongue and going with the flow and being easygoing for the purpose of just, again, coasting by in the environment that you're in, it might be helpful and beneficial to start off with finding a group of people who can grow that inner sovereign being within you, and kind of allow it to come out from hiding, so to speak. So, and all of this can stifle just being in an environment where people aren't really fully supportive, that might say things behind your back, or that don't really see your vision, that can really stifle your creativity, your happiness, your joy, your ability to tap into your childlike nature, your sexual energy, your excitement and zest for life. And it can feel a little bit depressive and heavy. And I also want to say cyclical, like you feel stuck, like things aren't really moving the way that they should, the way that they can and are capable of moving, because of the fact that the only example you have that something is possible, that someone likes what you like or is capable of doing the things that you want to do, is you right now. And so again, there's like a lack of trust, not only in maybe spiritual things, but also within yourself and your abilities. It could even be not just in your environment, but like authority figures around you who block you from being able to make decisions for yourself, block you from being able to invest more deeply into your passions, because the people around you or this authority figure may be judgmental or more traditional. Again, like, there aren't a lot of people around you who understand your vision and see your vision, which is why it's even more important for you to cultivate a strong sense of self, so that no matter what's going on in your environment or what other people believe or what they can't see that you can see, it doesn't faze you. And you keep moving. You keep moving, and you stay strong and focused on what's true to you and what's best for you, and pivot whenever you're guided to. And again, that pivoting that you may be asked to trust is, again, aligned with your own sovereignty. So if you change your mind about something, it's because you did, not because someone convinced you to change your mind about something. I also want to say no decision is a decision. No decision at all is still a decision. And being avoidant about certain things isn't always the better option. And again, like, that falls back into the assertiveness. Just letting people know what you want, how you feel, what you're going to put up with, and what you don't like, and what you do like. There's a lot of energy around expression. So the throat chakra, using your voice, speaking up, communicating. Also, with this trusting heaven and the Archangel Michael card, I feel the need to mention communicating with your helpers on the other side as well, if you're spiritually inclined or spiritual in general. You're being invited to communicate not only with other people in your environment, but people who aren't in physical form in your environment, and asking them for assistance and help. So the throat chakra is really important here. The sacral chakra and the heart chakra. So tapping into your heart's desires, which may be, I'm feeling that it's very vibrant, it's very unique, it's very flamboyant, if you will. It's so funny, I've been obsessed with Doja Cat lately. Not obsessed, but I just really see her as someone that is very inspiring to me, and I don't really have a lot of celebrities that I fuck with like that, but she's just, I'm sure a lot of people would agree, because she has a big fan base, but she's just so vibrant and colorful and weird. She's just very out of the box, and that's what's coming to mind when I'm seeing Leo. Like, what you're into may be very unique and specific and colorful and just something that maybe where you grew up, and maybe you're still there, something that those people have never seen before, something that you've maybe have never seen before. And so there's no like real example of what's possible again. So you have to be the example, if you will. And I think we touched on that a little bit earlier in the reading. There's a need for a strong sense of self, because you are working in a space where there's not many examples of what you want to do. And again, it could be as simple as like you want to dress a specific way that's just, again, like colorful and vibrant and very different and flamboyant, and you need to, again, be confident in who you are so that the opinions of others don't faze you and you're not shaken up by those things, and they don't matter, because what matters more than that is your happiness and your ability to be yourself unapologetically, and all of the opinions around that, and the peanut gallery, the feedback, the commentary around that shouldn't matter. So throughout your day, your higher self is inviting you to I'm hearing come out of the closet, to speak up, to be more creative, to connect with your childlike nature and self, connect with the things that bring you joy, dress in more colors, to be more colorful and vibrant in your life. Those things are really important. Okay. So your last card is an affirmation card, and it says, "My thoughts become my reality." my thoughts become my reality. When I shuffled, I asked, like, what message does this group's higher self have? And this is your message. All right, that is your reading, group 1. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more from me. And I can't wait to see you again. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading about your higher self's routine, daily routine, or I guess just I don't know routine. So your card was vacation. Okay. We have Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. The sun is starting to set on this side of the house, so I don't know how bright everything will be. Let me see if I can. Oh, that didn't really help. Okay, that kind of helped. We have Libra. And intention in reverse. Interesting. There is a need to balance out work and play, or study and play and rest. There's also a need to, throughout your day, come back to your why of what you're doing. So the example that's coming to my mind right now is, say you have an intention to create a business so that you have more time for things. And maybe throughout working a lot, you forget that this is your intention, and you get lost in the hustle and forget to rest. So it seems, and there's times that we have to do things and work, longer hours or do whatever we need to do to accomplish certain things. But to remember also that the reason that in this example that we're doing these things is so that we can rest more. So finding that balance and also being able to engage with that reality is really important too. And so kind of weighing out, like, is it more important for me to hustle for this extra bit of cash, or is it important for me to rest and also take this time to invest in what I'm really wanting to do, which is to change the side hustle into a main and even more so a residual income, a main income and a residual income. I hope that makes sense. So just reminding yourself what your intention for doing certain things are, what your why is, coming back to your why, and weighing your options and whatever choices that you're making, and if they are bringing you closer to your desire or moving you away from your desire. And I don't know why burnout is coming to my mind as well, but it's important to to know that you are the source of your success. So if you run yourself to the ground, then what will you be able to accomplish without that balance? That balance is really, really important. Also, I feel like there's a need to kind of lighten up a little bit. And that things come with rest and with ease. With this higher learning in reverse with Melchizedek, I'm getting, this is a strange example, but I'm making a connection to somebody who's doing a lot of like esoteric studying, and maybe you're frustrated because you're not grasping a certain concept. And this happens a lot with studying just in general, but maybe there's a concept you're not fully grasping for whatever reason. There's an invitation to pull back and step away and press pause on whatever you're doing and then come back to it. And a lot of times, like, it clicks with that moment of rest period of just kind of like relaxing, easing up, inviting more beauty into your life, inviting more indulgence and playful conversation in your life, flirtation, connection. Some of you may be doing a lot of studying or work or hustling, and it can be a very isolating thing, but there's a need to just have just a light, fun conversation with different people. Go out and socialize and get around other people, and again, recognize that there's a need to balance, and things will come when they are ready. And it doesn't really help if, again, you're the source of the success. It's coming from within you, whatever you want to do. But then you run yourself into the ground and you have to pause longer. When you could have taken small pauses that, fuel you into making bigger leaps later on, because you decided to take that like very beneficial, very relaxing pause. But this would happen to me a lot with hula hooping, with flow arts. I would spend a lot of time trying to nail a specific thing, a specific trick, and it seems like the time away really helps me in coming back and accomplishing that move, because whatever mindset I'm in trying to force something, whenever I step away, that wave of pressure dies down. So when I come back to it, there's a lot more ease. So there's something about that that's coming to mind with this group. There's a need to invite more ease whenever you're feeling very tense and strained to, say, get something done or accomplish something, and you're just kind of clashing or banging your head against the wall trying to figure something out. Again, remembering the goal and the intention with something, knowing that you're the source of the success, so there's an importance in taking care of yourself and making sure that the journey to whatever you're trying to do is balanced and has some enjoyment to it. And knowing that just because you walk away from it doesn't mean it's going to fall apart. Doesn't mean that you're not accomplishing less. That's so interesting. It's like by letting your grip go, letting loose the grip, you feel that you're not accomplishing as much and everything has to look pretty and orderly and specific, but that's not always a realistic approach. Harmony and balance is more important than things looking good, because that's a very surface level thing. Things can look good and be a hot mess behind the scenes. It's like you're working all of these wild hours and everything looks good on the surface, like an Instagram feed, but then behind the scenes you're like hanging on by a thread because your health is starting to break down and your mind isn't working as sharply because you're not resting. So something that I don't know, there's something about that example. Balance will bring you the stability. There's nothing wrong with allowing yourself to relax. And the other thing I do want to mention too is like there's this like writer's block example that's coming up where, again, whenever you let your mind kind of ease off and take a break, like some people have their biggest epiphanies and ideas when they're in rest mode. Group 2, what does Group 2 need to know? What does Group 2 need to know about the higher self routine? What does Group 2 need to know about the higher self routine? What does Group 2 need to know about their higher self routine? I'm getting a relationship example as well. I'm getting a karmic relationship example, so maybe there's an example for some of you where you're in a relationship and you're on break right now, and there's a need to kind of understand, or even if you're not on a break, maybe there's some signs that there's a break that needs to be had. And a breakdown starting to bubble up from the surface. So there's a need to understand the lessons from the experience so that you don't repeat the same thing. And also understand like where maybe you came into this relationship without any like true intention, or what was the intention of this relationship, the choices that went in, or the lack of choices or decisions, consciousness, discernment, conscientiousness that went into going into this partnership, and becoming more aware again so that you don't make the same mistake, and knowing the importance of setting an intention when you're deciding to mesh and swirl energies with somebody else. And this doesn't have to be a romantic example. It could be platonic as well. There's a need to step away with this specific scenario. There's a need to step away to understand and assess what came of this scenario and how you got to where you are within this connection, and to make sure that you are stepping into and inviting the energies into your life, stepping into someone else's field, or whenever you invite energies into your life, whether it's platonically as friendships or in relationships, being sure that you are aware and not, again, I mentioned this with the first example, not falling for things that look pretty on the outside that are possibly a hot mess on the inside. So setting intentions and being very wise and clear and awake when even considering moving forward or opening yourself up to another person's energy. There's an owl here with an egg. There's a wisdom in setting a goal. Again, like checking back with your goals was something I mentioned with the first example and scenario. There's something really wise with tapping into your intentions, your core values, what you want in life, out of life, and checking back with those daily to understand how something does align with you or is misaligned with you. And if you don't have any of that at all, then you're going to be just floating aimlessly without this grounded, this tether to ground you. And the tether is your intentions, your goals, your core values, your desires, your dreams, what you care about. There's a need to build a new foundation through setting intention. And seeing beyond surface level. The higher learning card feels like it's alluding to a higher perspective. So the way that you've been looking at things, say like you walk into situations that look good without delving deeper into them, and seeing more of the picture, which is higher learning can give you a different perspective on things. And it's saying more inner study is now required to further progress. So there's a need to become more introspective, which again is a higher perspective, and a level of higher learning that is going to give you more depth, more clarity, and a bigger vision of, again, like what your intentions are, what your goals and desires are. So there's some like adulting here, some like spiritual adulting here through introspection, seeing beyond, seeing deeper than surface level value and what's charming, what's beautiful, what's fun, what's maybe stimulating, fleetingly stimulating. So the vacation almost feels like there's a need to either step away from a specific person or step away from people, balancing out outside time, socializing with solo time, and tapping back into like your personal energy instead of getting lost in the energies of other people. Again, introspection, setting intentions, tapping into your goals. There's a lot of, there's 2 Gemini cards here, so possibly like scattering your energy versus focusing your energy. when to step out and when to pull your energy back in. There's a lot of just like need for harmony, because I'm naming a lot of different examples, and it's really just all coming to the main point of checking in with where you have fallen off and where you need to hop back on. And that's just, I feel like the main thing that's important in your routine is introspection and daily connection to your goals, desires, and core values, and moving beyond surface level things. So going a little bit deeper in your day-to-day, going a little bit deeper in general, and making sure there's some sort of, it doesn't have to be specific, but some sort of a why. Like, what's your reasoning for doing this? What's your reasoning for being with this person? Especially if there's like a cycle that keeps repeating. Some sort of karmic or toxic cycle with people that keeps repeating. What else does group 2? Yeah, it feels like there's a need to come to a place where things are quiet, coming to a place of restoration and rest. Feels like there's been a lot of maybe drama, possibly, and it just feels like a lot of just noise, like excess noise that you're around, whether it's drama or people just being in the middle of things. There's a need to come back to self, as I was saying. There's a general, and this doesn't feel necessarily like a daily routine, but maybe a season that you're in where things that used to work no longer work, things that used to be supportive aren't supportive anymore, and there's just this big purging to come back into equilibrium with yourself. There's a really big purging. Purging of the mind and the emotions, especially when it comes to any sort of limiting beliefs or self-deprecating self-talk that may have come from you or may have been adopted from the things that other people have said to you that you believed. So there's again, like, I think the vacation as your theme is really important, because as like this purging is happening and this breakdown and restructuring of, again, like your intentions, your values, what you want out of life, how you're going to show up in life, and how you're balancing yourself out and learning new things about your inner workings. There's like an invitation to slow down and to relax. So maybe some of you, like what you're doing for work, it's maybe not literal, it's more a spiritual or energetic, where you're doing a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work, and there's a need to balance those realms out, coming out of inner work and shadow work, and watching just something that'll make you laugh as you're moving through these energies. So the other thing too, now that I'm looking at the higher learning and intention card, there may be some sort of higher purpose for this. It sounds so cliche, but a purpose for all of this that you may not be seeing for some of you. But there's like a need to kind of hermit yourself. There may be an inclination or a desire to hermit yourself. Because it seems like either now or there was a lot of noise around you, and it's just very distracting. All right, your affirmation card, your message from your higher self is: the universe supports me in every way. The universe supports me in every way. So with this group, I said a lot, but I wanted to create a summary. So rest, rejuvenation, restoration, hermitude, possible hermitude, so wanting to socialize less. So there may be a certain period of time where, and maybe it might be the start of Libra season, or maybe you have some Libra placements, but we are heading in the northern hemisphere towards the darker part of the season, which is more introspective. There's more time spent inside. So maybe you are moving with the seasons, the cycles of the northern hemisphere seasonally, and you're finding yourself wanting to pull back your energy and reflect more, and inquire more about what's going on within you and your emotional realm, and delve into the way that you think. And again, like through the introspection, there's a breakdown of a faulty foundation and a rebuilding of things through you letting go, through you introspecting, and then through all of this you are balancing out your energy. So that was really interesting, group 2. Let me know what resonated for you in the comment section down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more from me, and I can't wait to see you again. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading about your higher self's routine. Okay, listen is your card. We have inner strength, Bridget. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. We have Aries in reverse. We had 2 cards, Heal the Ouch and Spark. So there's the Aries card. heal the ouch and spark. And that affirmation card is last. Okay, some of you may be coming from group 3 because the energy feels very familiar. Let's see. What does group 3 need to know? More information about group 3 and aligning with their higher self's routine. A lot of wands. Okay. There's a need for this group to listen to themselves more, to understand their drive, their primal instincts and impulses to take actions towards certain things, because there's a stifling of this. And maybe it's due to failures, to failing in the past. Like maybe you've had a few failures where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I just can't trust myself anymore. But there's like this dream and desire that you have, but because of some sort of it's like a mild PTSD to getting things wrong. There's just like, it's like you gave up on the plan. And through doing this, you have blocked yourself from taking a leap towards a new beginning. So there's a need, like your higher self is very bold, very fiery, very just like the audacity to do things, very optimistic in the sense that like you're taking action and not necessarily thinking of the consequences. So it's not that you're optimistic purposefully, you're just very daring and bold. And so there's a invitation towards that energy that your higher self wants you to incorporate and weave into your day-to-day. So just being more ballsy and listening to yourself instead of ignoring yourself, and like not being knocked down by failures, and changing your perspective on what failures are instead of like leaving yourself caged and limited because of these setbacks or hiccups in your journey. There's something like very like creative and passionate and like just very vibrant about this group. I mean, you've got the wands, and I also feel like there's something very unorthodox, like like your path is just not gonna look like other people's paths. So I think that's another like learning curve about like where you are as far as like accomplishments and success. Like your path is just not gonna look like any of the paths that you've seen before, and there's a real need to be more compassionate and understanding towards that, and know that again, like your path's just gonna look a little different from everyone else's. So if there's more hiccups than others, there's probably a reason for that. And there's nothing wrong with embracing a good pivot, a good change of scenery, a good change up in whatever you're doing, because it might lead you closer to wherever you're trying to go. So if there is this period of just changing things up a lot, and guilt is coming up strongly with this group, there's a need to kind of release guilt from the way that you move throughout your life, because again, it just may be different. I'm seeing somebody who chooses to live on the road or is kind of transient, and like that's your way of understanding life and becoming more street smart and finding your purpose. So that's just an example that comes to my mind. Yeah, these setbacks have caused you to allow yourself to be disempowered, and it's almost like the spark within you is flickering a little bit, it's wavering a little bit, or you've lost touch with it possibly. And so there's like this desire to dream, and you're still dreaming, but there's no action taken. There's like this hesitation with going after these desires. And you're seeing certain options. You're looking at what's possible. But again, there's like, because of the anxiety around even taking the step, and like, what if I fail, and just a sort of analysis paralysis, there's no action towards planning to make some sort of move or leap. You just kind of stop at the dream. And the dream, almost even like the act of like dreaming and delving into this desires, is like, because it's enjoyable, and then it becomes kind of scary to really think about it and trying to materialize it. You're being called to allow yourself to be guided again, to allow yourself to trust yourself again. To allow yourself to be brave and to be resilient. in the face of trials and tribulations and setbacks. This fear and lack of trust in yourself, when it is worked out and exercised, resilience can become your biggest strength from pushing through and practicing being bold and taking action again, bold action again. So running through the fire, there is a gift of becoming empowered again, becoming bold, brave, and ballsy, and resilient, and almost unstoppable. Through facing this fear and taking this leap. It's like you are meant to be some sort of a trailblazer, to try new things, to try things out that other people haven't done before. And of course it's going to be a little bit daunting and jarring because you don't have any example of how to do this in your environment, or maybe at all. It could be that avant-garde. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Okay. All right. I asked my affirmation cards. When I was shuffling them, I asked for a message from your higher self, and it says, this was in reverse, but it says, I go with the flow and feel my connection to the stream of life. Interesting. Anxiety and uptightness can cause a lot of rigidity, and seriousness about life, which life is serious, and at times we don't need to grip so tightly to life. Sometimes life is meant to be playful, and so I think this group may have forgotten how to relax, how to release such a grip. I'm getting this feeling of like someone who's really tight around the jaw, who's just very clenched, who kind of lifts up their shoulders a little bit. Their shoulders are shrugged when they should be relaxed and down. Maybe some neck tension around the jaw and the neck. And really tight back muscles, like knots possibly in the back. So with this way of embodiment, there's no room for play. When I see the word flow, I think of play and enjoyment and ease. And you can even look at this as an experiment, listening to your intuition, tapping into it, listening to, if you're spiritual, the guides that surround you who aren't in physical form, and listening to them, tapping into your intuitive reservoir in the way that is most comfortable and effortless, and listening to it and seeing what unfolds from that. And I'm kind of chuckling because I know I've always assumed personally that when I listen to my intuition, some people make it sound so easy. Like, you'll hear it and you're not going to have any kind of pushback against what it's going to tell you. But I feel that if we've been living in a place of caution for so long, for a little while, our intuition, our nudges may dare us to do things that are out of our comfort zone. So there will be some resistance and pushback. There will be a comfort of not listening to that voice, because it's like, are you kidding me? You want me to do what? Like, how? But it could start with something very little, and you can allow yourself to invite that voice to come out and guide you with little things. But don't be shocked if it calls you to step up in a way that is ballsy. That's exciting. Okay, group 3. I believe that is it. Let me know what was relevant for you in the comment section down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more from me. And I can't wait to see you again soon.